If you're a guy and you're single and you're frustrated, there's a pretty high chance that you watch some kind of one of those red pill or like gender war content, right? I think it's called Manosphere now. Maybe it was like a guy with some kind of whiteboard, right? Breaking down female nature and stuff. Maybe it was some kind of podcast clip saying women only want the top 1%, right? Or, there's like a bunch of these clips online, right? And, I kind of get it because part of it probably made you feel seen, right? Like finally someone understands what you're going through and stuff, right? But I think that those creators are lying to us. And those creators are actually affecting your relationship in a negative way. They're not just explaining your problem, I think they're actually making it worse. I think your problem will get worse if you watch those type of content. And once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. So this whole red pill thing, it's kind of actually like a business, kind of. It's like a business built around like male frustration, right? And it's a real business too. And like any other business, it needs customers, right? It needs attention, it needs you to keep coming back, right? And the product they're basically selling is just your outrage or your anger, right? The message is like always something like this, right? Women are hypergamous, or like, they all want the same top guys, or like being nice makes you weak, or like, the system is rigged against you, right? And the solution for like that they give is like what? Wake up, right? Take the red pill, stop being a nice guy, right? And yeah, I do think that there is like some kind of truth to it. But actually, I think that's what makes it very dangerous. Because when something has some truth to it, you feel like it's true, right? Without really considering like how true it actually is. It just feels true, right? And I think that's how they keep you get hooked, is that they add a little bit of truth to it, so it feels like, oh, he's true. It feels real, but it's not really true. I actually explained this in a different video on how they're lying. And here's the reality, man. If those type of contents actually solved your dating life, you wouldn't watch them anymore, right? And another thing is like a calm or like balanced advice, they don't go viral, right? And content creators know that. That's why they make these contents that make you feel angry, misunderstood, and like outraged. And that's what they want, right? They want outrage, right? That type of content tends to spread like crazy. That's just how the algorithm works. So they're not helping you find a girlfriend. They're just helping you stay engaged with that type of content, right? And I do believe those content creators probably know that, the red pill content creators. So let me tell you how these red pill creators recruit you into their content, okay? So first it starts with a guy going through some kind of pain, right? Maybe they got rejected, right? The girl they like didn't choose them and stuff, right? And maybe they felt invisible to other girls, right? And if you accept it as like a truth, right? If you accept it as a truth, then something changes in you. You're not just struggling with dating anymore. You're part of you know, the, the red pill guys who sees the truth, right? And now your identity gets tied to it. And most dudes, I don't think really question it, because I think if you question it, it feels like betraying yourself. And the worst part of these type of contents, red pill contents, is that they don't just validate you. I think they're training your brain. I think the first thing I think they train is that they train the way you see women, right? You don't see them as individuals anymore, right? They are individuals, but you don't see them any like an individual anymore. You start to like generalize them, right? If a girl loses interest in you, right, it could be a compatibility issue, but you're gonna think, oh, the red pill guys were correct. That's how all women are, right? They just want the top 1% and stuff, right? The second thing they train is like, I think they make you lose your empathy. I don't think people notice this, because once you see a woman as like like a bad thing, like predictable, manipulative, and stuff, right? If you see them that way, you're kind of losing empathy for them, right? You stop asking like what she wants, what is she feeling, right? Instead, you think, oh, I already know how this goes. I already know what they think, right? And the third thing I think they're training you is like, uh, they're training you to have this preemptive defensiveness. You walk into interactions guarded, right? You're not relaxed. You're not like curious. You don't have vitality, right? You're not yourself, right? You're constantly checking these signs, holding back, right? And I think women can feel that immediately, right? And the worst part is the trap, like a self-fulfilling loop, right? I think you guys probably heard of self-fulfilling traps. For example, you watch a content that says women don't like nice guys or something, right? So on your next date, you act distant, less genuine, right? She notices that, so she loses interest, right? And you think to yourself, see, I told you, I knew this was true, right? Look, see, this happened, right? And uh, the content didn't actually predict the outcome. It just you acted differently, which created the outcome, right? And that's why it's a loop, right? It's gonna keep going over and over. So in real life, it's gonna have an effect on you, right? First, your dates are gonna feel like an interview, right? You're not connecting to them as a person. You're just constantly evaluating them, right? Is she like the person that they described, right? And is she one of those girls, right? You stop being natural, right? You stop being yourself. You're constantly like thinking of the what the red pill guys taught you, right? And second is that you start to assume the worst thing, right? A girl says something slightly off, and instead of clarifying, you just jump to conclusions, right? Because you've seen this pattern before. And but the thing is, that's just what you think, right? It might not be the truth. And the third thing that happens in real life is that I think it kills your attraction to women, right? For example, how are you supposed to like genuinely love a woman if deep down you've been trained to like distrust them? Do you know what I mean? Like you can't build attraction on like suspicion, right? That's just not how it works. How can you love someone that you're always suspicious about, right? So because of that, you will stay lonely. And I think those red pill content creators, they will agree with you, right? And the comments are always agreeing with the red pill dudes. So what do we actually do? I think it comes down to three main things, okay? So the first one is see red pill as a business, okay? Every time you feel that, anger, right? Is this helping me? Ask yourself, like, is this helping me, or am I just like buying into their business, right? Because I think in the end, we're just helping the red pill content creators in their business. I think that's what's happening. And second of all, force yourself to see women as individuals, okay? They can't be just generalized into all women are like this, okay? Everybody's different, okay? Think about a real woman, or just meet women outside, right? In real life. And you'll see that like the red pill guys, what they said was kind of a lie. And third, I think in order to fix it all, I think we need to change your feed, right? What gets recommended to you, right? The best thing to do is just like report them or dislike them, or like just press on the not interested button. There's usually like a not interested button somewhere there. So that way you train the algorithm back, right? That's probably the third and last thing to do. And here's the thing, man. At the end of the day, these creators don't care if you find a good relationship, right? They just care if you stay watching, right? If they just care if they're being like engageful, right? If you stay just frustrated enough to keep coming back, they're happy. They don't really care about your relationships, right? So, yeah. They usually tell you things like, "Oh, you're not the problem, right? Women are the problem. The system is the problem, right?" And I think to the viewer, it might feel good at the moment, right? But here's the catch, right? They're not actually like analyzing your situation that well. They're just giving you this universal answer, like a very generalized answer, right?